Hello, I'm Ed Habershaw, Associate Athletic Director at Salve Regina University, and I'm joined by Seahawk head baseball coach Eric Cirella. Welcome, Eric.
Hey, Ed. Great to be here.
Good to have you. Well, we want to start off by recapping some highlights from last year, and particularly the graduating seniors from last year's class.
Obviously, last year was a fun run, and it was a great group of seniors. Zach Smith had one of the best single seasons of any Seahawk baseball player in the history of the program. Will Ginsberg was awesome. We got major contributions, Brett Wilkes, Tyler Hertzwig. Just a great group, and it was a fun run. And every championship kind of has a different spin and feel to it. They all feel great. And last year was no different, so it was fun to play real good baseball for a couple of weeks.
For practice, indoors or outdoors, what are some of your most effective and even fun drills for your players?
I think our goal as a coaching staff is to make drills as game-like as possible. It's difficult in the gym, but in all honesty, the players are doing a really good job of simulating game at-bats and bunting and situational hitting, whether it's off a machine or flips or a coach pitching. Any drill that's easy, typically is not a very good drill. So we try to challenge our guys as much as possible. Sometimes guys will get discouraged, but what I've seen with this group so far is they really work the right way. And it's unique because we have a lot of freshmen, and we don't have, we have 2 seniors, but we have a group of 6 or 7 or 8 guys who have played and performed, a handful of all-conference guys, and they've really set the tone. And the freshmen have, just worked, and that's been encouraging. So we've been able to get outside a bunch. We've been able to play a couple inter squads, and Mother Nature willing, we can continue to do that. Hopefully this weekend up until opening day. But I can't think of a particular drill off the top of my head. You're trying to hit so many different facets of pitching and hitting and defense and base running and bunting but we've gotten the opportunity to do a lot and put a lot in. So I feel comfortable where we are, and the work ethic and the attention to detail and the focus, the things that you don't want to coach, someone's motor, how hard they're working, how much they're paying attention and their concentration efforts, that's really been outstanding. And I think over the course of the last 10 days or so, it's really stood out to the point where the coaching staff has, complimented the players. And if we continue to do that, that's a good sign for 2020.
Where will your team's leadership come from in 2020?
Well, we have 4 outstanding captains. 2 of them are returning captains from a year ago, Dylan Ketch and Pat Maybach. 2 newcoming captains, Zach Barlock, who is a 4-year player for us and, kind of emerged as our 3rd outfielder last year, as well as Madden Ward, who's a 2nd-team all-conference shortstop and has really improved his game. He could always pick it, he could always play defense, but offensively and base running has started to emerge as, I think, one of the top shortstops in the region. Not to put too much pressure on him, but those guys are our captains, but we're going to need leadership contributions, from Kyle Brown and Zach Dione and Anthony Ciesco and Mike DeFusco and Tom Beliveau, and guys who have been around before and have been a part of championships. We need leadership from everywhere, and it's unfair to put the leadership role on just 4 guys when there's 47 guys on the team. So the more leadership contributions we get, the easier it is on everybody.
Coach, there's no place like home. Talk about the improvements you've seen at Reynolds Field over the last several years.
Well, we've been fortunate to, dating back to 2017 with a big fundraising effort from, everybody within the program and the school to, get 2 brand new dugouts, backstop, shortly thereafter resurfacing the infield, new bleachers, new 2 batting cages, bullpens, a little bit of a facelift, and now we turfed our home bullpen just recently. So one of the problem areas, and when it rains, that was one of the lower points. So hopefully that helps the pitchers out this season, and their socks and cleats and turfs don't get all wet. On top of that, we're building kind of like what I envision to be an alumni area on the third base side next to our dugout and in between the first batting cage. That's actually getting finished up right now. So that's sub-based with some nice crushed material and a fence, and we have stadium seating now behind home plate, which was Friends of Salve Baseball Booster Club generously donated those this summer, and facilities installed it. So it's really a team effort between the coaching staff and the alumni and friends of the program and parents and the booster club and the university itself with facilities. And I can't give one person credit, or it really is just a team dynamic that's allowed us to continue. And that's kind of my goal, is every year I want there to be 1 or 2 new things that an alumni comes back and says, oh wow, this is new, this is pretty cool. And we just want to keep building it up, because as much as we want that big $1 million or $5 million donation, we can't wait for that. So it keeps us active and keeps us working, and there's something fun about building up these small to medium projects every year too, and just making it a nicer experience for the players and for the alumni, for the fans and the families.
Eric, with illegal sign stealing all the conversation at the Major League Baseball level, what do you see or hear at your level?
It's not the proliferation of technology with Apple Watches and cameras and a banging system. What you see are more catchers who have a hard time hiding their signs, and maybe somebody's picking up on that, whether it's a coach or a base runner, or even someone on the bench. You see teams trying to pick signs from a coach to a catcher, or you see maybe a pitcher tipping pitches with his grips, or what he's doing with his glove on certain pitches that he's not doing on others. And that's kind of where the conversation is, and to me, where it ends. Some tendencies. Every team's got charts and what this kid likes to throw, or what this team likes to do, in 1-2 counts versus 2-2 counts, even, plus counts, minus counts. It's nothing like what you're seeing now in Major League Baseball. Hopefully it never gets to that point, because that would be overwhelming, and everybody has an opinion on what's going on. And to me, it's starting to get like that song in the spring that everybody loves, but by the end of the summer, it's like, all right, next station. It's played out. Now, I think everyone in baseball just wants to start this season and see how it goes. I think it'll be an interesting season. But certainly Major League Baseball has to step in and really make some rules, because technology is not going away. It's only going to get better and more intrusive in the game. So there's got to be, some guidelines in policing actions like that. Because as a coach, if we found out after the fact that, we lost the conference championship because another team was cheating or crossing that line between baseball gamesmanship and that's not right, I would feel bad. I would be upset, and I would be upset for our players too, because these guys can't re-sign a contract. They have 4 years, and then the majority of them are off to the real world. So it's a lot to think about and talk about, but I don't think my opinion it's just another opinion, and millions of people have them. Let's just move on and hope that Major League Baseball does a better job of policing this going forward.
Coach, you've introduced a variety of promotions over the past several years. What can Seahawk fans look forward to in 2020?
it's important for us as athletes to give back to the community and show people that we care more than just wins and losses. So you've seen a BT20 day 4 years ago or 3 years ago. We've done sepsis awareness. We've done a cancer fund last year. This year, for our doubleheader with Nichols, it's going to be a fundraiser for Active Minds, which specifically the URI chapter of Active Minds, which my brother, who is a track and field member of the track and field team at URI, founded. So Active Minds is essentially one of the premier nonprofits for mental health and suicide prevention in young adults, which is a huge issue. So that's something that's important to me. It's important to him, and I really have to thank Georgine Hertzwig and Natalie Reed behind the scenes, because Georgine, about 3 years ago, I said, listen, I really want to start giving back more. I want to do more community service. I want to have more of a purpose with our season and not just chase conference championships, because there's a lot more to life. And so this year, Georgine and my brother actually had a conversation, and I thought that was a great topic to bring attention to and awareness to, and obviously if we can help them out at all, that would be fantastic too. So I know that we're hosting an event on, I want to say April 4th, and I know the University of Rhode Island baseball team is also hosting a similar event later in the season. So hopefully that helps out, and if anybody has an idea for the 2021 season, I'm all ears. I think there's something unique about changing every year and trying to hit as many different people and topics as possible.
With 2020 vision, what's your outlook for the new season?
I like our team. I think practice has been a lot of fun. I think we have a lot of different guys who can help you in different ways. Our freshman class is very physical. We have guys who can hit the ball a long way. I think there's a couple guys that can step in right away and help us. And I think our older guys are kind of that battle-tested group who's played, some of them have played in 2 conference championships and a couple of regionals. But I want to compete for the championship, but at the same time, I think our goal is every time we step on the field, whether it's against Oswego or Trinity or Wheaton or UMass Boston, we just want to play good baseball. I just want people to say, hey, Salve can beat anybody in the country on any given day. And even when we're playing somebody with maybe a record that's not so great, we have to understand they can beat us. So we have to continue to improve and continue to get better. And if we continue to work the way we have and just kind of go about our business the right way and think the right way, I think typically we play our best baseball towards the middle end of April, and that's a good time to be playing your best baseball. I don't want, it's funny, the D3 podcast for Division III baseball or whatever, it said it's Salve Regina's conference to lose. I'm like, no pressure there. We get 23 freshmen and it's our conference to lose. There's so many good teams, and it's baseball, and we're not playing a best of 5 series or a best of 7 series. So things happen. There's certainly teams in the past that we haven't won championships with that I thought we could have or should have. And there's years like last year where you're kind of you think your best baseball is behind you, and you're starting to plateau and almost just come to a screeching halt with momentum, and then all of a sudden you snap out of it and you play really good baseball for a couple of weeks. I don't have the answers, but I like our team. I like our coaching staff. There's a lot to be excited about. So we'll see where we are, when it comes time to crown a champion in May.
Best of luck. Thanks to Salve Regina head coach Eric Cirella for joining us on the season preview. catch the defending Commonwealth Coast Conference champions in action at Reynolds Field in 2020.